GridFS. This is one of the interesting and important feature of MongoDB. Using GridFS, you can save files of size more than 16 MB directly into Mongo database. GridFS is widely popular in saving audio, video file formats, PDF documents, scanned images, etc. Learning GridFS is very simple. You can learn it in less than 10 minutes of time. Companies like McAfee and Pearson are using GridFS in their live environment. For example, McAfee is using GridFS for pushing updates and Pearson is using for saving students' data. As I mentioned earlier, there is a 16 MB file limit for a BSON document, which can be easily overcome by using GridFS. GridFS is similar to Blob, that is a binary large objects data type in our traditional database, but the architecture is completely different. GridFS supports partial retrieval as well as distributed storage. We'll be seeing how GridFS works using Mongo Booster software. This is very easy and you can learn it in minutes. GridFS is very useful while development and in testing applications. Let us see more details about GridFS. The first step in GridFS is to add a bucket. We'll be using Mongo files command for that. A bucket is nothing but a virtual namespace, which in turn has two collections. One is for saving the file chunks. The other one is for saving the file's metadata. So when a file is uploaded or added to a bucket, it will be splitted into file chunks. The file chunks will be of size 255 KB. The details about the file chunks will be kept under a different collection called FS files as metadata. We'll be seeing more details about GridFS in the MongoDB documentation page, and there is a very useful use case documentation is also given in the documentation page. We'll be seeing an overview of that also. This is the GridFS documentation page. The most important thing is when to use GridFS. There are three use cases given. GridFS itself acts like a file system. So when your operating system file system has a limit on the number of files listed in a directory, you can use GridFS. And similarly, the most important thing is GridFS supports partial retrieval. And finally, it mentions about the geographical distribution of the data. So these are the three main use cases for GridFS. Out of these three, these two are very useful. The next one is about using GridFS. As I mentioned earlier, we'll be using Mongo files command line. And about GridFS collections, we have two collections. One is for holding the file chunks and another one is for saving the metadata. Actually, the names might have been better. This one might have been made as meta rather than as files. In the additional resources section in the bottom of the GridFS documentation page, there are two links. These links provide a greater insight and very good use cases for using GridFS. For example, on clicking the first link, that is for building MongoDB applications with binary files using GridFS, part 1. There are three main portions of informations. The first one discusses about the basics of GridFS. Then a short brief about how GridFS is practically used in McAfee and in Pearson is given here in the second portion. The third section discusses about the advantages of using GridFS for a medical system or a healthcare system. In healthcare systems, the patient's records are saved in X-rays or in MRI images. An average healthcare system can have data around 50 to 100 terabytes. The advantages of using GridFS for healthcare system are listed here. The first advantage is about simplified, centralized and unified interface. The second one discusses about retrieval of the chunks, the files using MongoDB query language. The third one points about high availability of replica sets. The fourth one is about security model, and the fifth one mentions about how to use GridFS system as a replacement for your file system. Because by using GridFS, you can easily overcome the limitations of file system, such as how many documents can be there in a directory, as well as the strict file naming rules. The part 2 of the article provides us with two very useful informations. The top portion discusses about how GridFS works. This diagram can easily give you a good idea about GridFS. For example, this JPG file gets uploaded to the bucket system of MongoDB using a MongoDB driver, which in turn is saved into two collections, files and chunks. Files will have the metadata about the JPEG file which we have uploaded, and the real data is saved in the chunks. Following this, there is a very useful and practical example of how to save video files and images to a GridFS system. The author of this article has used Perl language for explaining this. Though it is in Perl, it is very easily understandable. This has quite a good information about GridFS. Please go through this, as well as the top portion which explains how GridFS works. So totally there are 5 informations we can gather from the part 1 and part 2 of this article. Now we are going to see a simple demo using Mongo Booster, which will just take less than 5 minutes, and you can easily understand how GridFS works. We are in Mongo Booster now. I'm going to create a separate database for our GridFS demo. Note that in real life scenarios, there is no need of a separate database for GridFS. Create database. Let me name it as a db underscore GridFS underscore 1 underscore demo. So this is our database. It got created. The next step is to add a GridFS bucket. Note that we are not adding a collection. We are going to create a GridFS bucket. Once you click create GridFS bucket, it will be prompted for bucket name. The default name is FS, that you know. I'm going to give a different name here, that is personal videos. On clicking OK, you'll be seeing a personal videos bucket got created. Under that, you can watch there are 2 collections. One is a files collection and another one is a chunks collection. The files collection has metadata about this chunks collection. Under this chunks collections, the real data will be saved. That we have seen already. So let us see that practically. To start with, I'm going to view the documents under files collection. Right click here, view documents. Initially, it has to be empty. It is empty now, since it's a fresh bucket. The next step is to add files to the bucket. That's very easy. Click on this plus symbol here. One more thing, there are 2 options here. Either you can add a file or a folder. I'll be going with files now. I'm uploading a AVI file. Once you have selected the file, you'll be prompted with a confirmation prompt to add with full path or without path. Option without path. Upload started. File got uploaded successfully. The file size is around 24 MB, so it is greater than the 16 MB limit which is imposed by MongoDB. The interesting and the important thing to note here is the chunks. We know that it will be saved in chunks of size 255 KB. Click view documents. So these are the chunks. If you want to see in JSON view, it's running on my PC, so it's taking a long time. This is the JSON view. So binary data is like this, saved in 255 KB. You can also play from here by clicking view file. Since it's a AVI file, I'm saying you can easily play here. So the AVI file got open. This is from MongoDB, not from my local machine.
Hi.
One more thing, let us view the details. That's a metadata, JSON view. Chunk size is given and the file size is given here. Content type. So this demos us how GridFS works. So this data is saved in chunks, whereas the files will have the metadata about that. We have used Mongo Booster's tool for this GridFS demo. I'll be showing the same through command line also. In our previous demo, we have seen how easy GridFS is while using Mongo Booster. It was just like attaching a file in your email. This section will be seeing about Mongo Files command, which is similar to the Mongo dump or the Mongo executable files present in the bin directory of your MongoDB installation. Mongo Files command is very simple. As you can see here, it just takes 3 parameters. The first one is options. Here we'll be specifying the database, collection, host, username, password. The second one is the commands. This is for the CRUD operation, that is list, put, get and delete will be coming under this command session. And the third one is the file which we are going to act on. So let us see a demo section using Mongo Files. I personally don't recommend using Mongo Files because it doesn't have the option of creating your own bucket. So by default, it will save in the default bucket name, that is FS. That is the restriction with Mongo Files command, which we don't have with the other clients like Mongo Booster or Mongo Chef. This is the bin directory of MongoDB. You can see Mongo Files under this. It's here. This is along with the Mongo executable files. We are going to use this one, Mongo Files, for our GridFS. This is the Mongo Files documentation page. The syntax of the command is given here, followed by the options. Various options are listed here. Then the commands. Examples are given. Now let us work with the Mongo Files command. Mongo Files is the application name. Let me type that here, Mongo Files. Then the option D stands for database. Our database name is db gridfs1_demo. db gridfs_1_demo. The operation what we are going to do is put. So put is the command name and then the file name. The file name is Google Drive. So this is the file name. Yeah, that is because of the space here. Successfully added the file. The next step is to list the files present in the grid. So instead of put, we'll be using list command here. Perfectly listed. The issue with Mongo Files, as I have said earlier, is that it will be adding the files to the default bucket name, that is FS. Let us cross check the same here. As you can see here, Mongo Files command has created a default bucket name, that is FS. There is no option currently available with Mongo Files command to create your own bucket name. This shows us how Mongo Files command works. We have used the put for adding the file and we have used list for listing the files. There are other commands that you can try by yourself. Basically, This demo is to understand how Mongo files works and what is the limitation of Mongo files. As I mentioned earlier, Mongo files don't have the option to create your own bucket name. For example, we have created the personal videos bucket name by using Mongo Booster, but in Mongo files, we don't have that option.